Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. In this video, I show you exactly why I'm excited for 3.7 in this rundown of my most anticipated features. As always, a big shout out to my patrons. It is because of those guys that I get to make these kind of videos, so if you enjoy my channel and would like to help support it further, be sure to follow the link to my Patreon page in the description below. So with the recent change to the roadmap of 3.7, I had to re-record what I already had written for my most anticipated features, because a lot of things got pushed out, but even more things got brought in. So this list is of the features that I am most excited for, starting from the least excited to the most excited. Do let me know if this is anywhere along the lines of your list, but with that said, let's kick it off. So the first one is the Banu Defender. Now, I'm not all that excited for the Defender as a ship. What is exciting, however, is the importance that the ship carries. The Defender is the first ship we will see from the Banu, which means it's the first time we will see exactly how the Banu design and create their spacecraft. This also sets the style for the rest of the game, including one of the most significant ships in the game, which is the Banu Merchantman. The aesthetic of the Defender will give us the first insight to what we can expect for the Banu Merchantman and the Banu as a race, and that in itself is very exciting. And number 7 is the new hover mode, or the IFCS proximity. Now, this isn't necessarily an exciting feature on its own, but I felt it deserved a spot on the list, purely due to the necessity of it. Currently landing in 3.6 is just a real pain in the ass, and it puts me off playing. This will hopefully make it smoother and easier, which will just make the game feel so much more playable and more enjoyable. So for that reason, it is there. Next up at number 6 is ship rentals. This has been on the list for a while because it has been pushed back from 3.6 to 3.7, but it will open up a ton of gameplay for the majority of backers. So being able to rent any ship for any role means those with a single ship can mine, can run cargo, can protect themselves and their friends. It really just expands the game for people, which is extremely important at this time with what we currently have to play, and I'm very much looking forward to it myself. Anyway, number 5 is harvestables. Now again, not a very exciting feature, but it is cool and important for future releases. Trading being one of them, being able to harvest plants and sell the produce on whatever scale, small scale single person farming to large scale farming simulator type things. Maybe even searching for a rare plant which bears some pricey fruit that you can get a good price for. Another important feature is the player status system. Players will eventually get hungry or thirsty, and this tech will allow players to enter kind of a survival mode where they'll need to eat to stay alive. Maybe after getting stranded on a planet's surface awaiting a rescue, you can go and pick some fruit. Just keep yourself going while finding shelter and then waiting for the rescue. Harvestables are obviously needed for 3.7 and FPS mining. The ability to mine rocks using a handheld tool and then gather up those minerals and sell them later is an important feature for 3.7 and the rest of the game. So that is why it's here, and I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, number 4 is the personal commodity inventory. Now, obviously this is just referring to commodities. It doesn't mean your personal items like weapons, but it is important, just like harvestables. It creates the ability to gather and box up items to then store on your ship and sell later on. This whole gameplay loop will be really fun to take part in, and this commodity inventory is likely a precursor to the full physicalized personal inventory. So although I'm not super excited for the commodity inventory, it is exciting to see how it will feel, how it will function, and is very necessary for us to have a good time mining and trading in 3.7. Now at number 3, which I suppose should be at number 1, but for me it's number 3, is mission sharing. Now this has been a long time coming. Being able to share mission markers and payments amongst friends has been something we've needed for so long now. This creates the multiplayer experience and encourages team play, which is pretty much one of the foundations of the game. Taking on a job as a group, everyone in the group seeing where to go and eventually being able to split the money and the profit is going to keep me entertained for ages, and I can't wait. And I know I'm not the only one who wants this. It'll also make it so much more fun when streaming, being able to pay you guys who come and fly with me and protect me and help me out, giving you something back in the game rather than just making you carry boxes like slavery. Anyway, number 2 is this FPS mining. So for 3.7, they will be expanding the mining mechanic even further. FPS mining will involve the use of the multi-tool, which is already in-game, being able to venture into a cave and just blast away at some rocks and break off chunks of valuable minerals, picking them up, storing them on your ship, and then selling once you return to port. I would assume the gameplay will be quite similar in terms of mining to the Prospector, but on a much smaller scale. I do hope it's engaging and challenging and potentially dangerous at times, but also if you choose it to be nice and leisure and calming. So being able to earn a nice little living and appreciating the new cave locations. Which brings me on to number 1. Now this was a big shock for me in 3.7. I had no idea that caves would come in so fast. We knew they were working on them and making good progress, but literally when it dropped in 3.7 it was going to be 3 weeks away? So being able to explore caves alone or with friends is going to feel incredible, especially to the level of fidelity that CIG are creating them to. First off, I'm not expecting a large amount of caves nor anything inside to really worry about, but being able to venture deep into some dark, empty cave in a group and mine some minerals is going to be so much fun. Hopefully soon we will see a large amount of them dotted around all over the place, hopefully not too overpopulated with caves, but also eventually full of creatures, pirates and all of the other points of interest. For now though, I will settle for just one, and I am truly excited to see this. Anyway, that was my rundown of my most anticipated features of 3.7. We are almost 2 weeks away from a potential live release. Eva Cottis will be getting hold of it anytime now, I'm sure. As soon as it does drop, I will be covering it as much as I can and streaming it over on twitch.tv/supermacbrothers, so be sure to come and hang out with us. Big thank you to all my patrons. Thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button, and I shall see you next time.